Conversations with Dimpho Mphela, the girl next door. Sure, guys, I am ready. I am waiting for my guest. We're going to be talking about traumas. Not the traumas that you know, the emotional traumas, the abusive traumas and all that. Something different. When a friend of mine, my coach, Puseliso, told me, you know what? There's somebody that you have to meet and have this conversation with her. I am talking to Dimpho Mphela. We are talking about money traumas. I can't wait, guys. This is the topic that is also closest to my heart because I know I've gone through this and I didn't even know that I had traumas. So we're gonna come back soon with Dimpho Mphela. This is Conversations with Phumzile, the girl next door. Remember to subscribe, like, and do share. Okay, hit that notification button so that you'll be the first one to know that the new episode has dropped. Conversations with Dimpho Mphela, the girl next door. It is that time when I have my girl or my boy next door. Guys, we had conversations before conversations, so already I feel like the whole hour before, because
was it not
production?
true?
I did. Exactly. Even two. So we have started, but hey, now you are here. I have my guest here, Dimpho. Guys, we're going to talk about traumas. You know, there's emotional traumas on different levels. There's abuse. There's other traumas that we don't talk about. When I heard about this trauma, I was like, what? I'm getting this girl next door here. So this is Dimpho. Hi, darling.
Hello. Good morning.
How are you?
Good. How are you? I'm happy to be here.
Thank you so much. So you know what? When you arrived in the morning, in my head, I was already having this conversation with you.
Sure.
I had a whole lot.
Sure.
And I prep in my head, but I know when conversation starts, it feels like, and then I always carry a notebook because it always feels like it's my sessions.
Okay. Sure.
So you are a coach.
Okay.
One, we'll start there. You are a coach. You
So
are
you're
a
welcoming a
pastor.
coach.
You.
Amen.
This is amen, Michele. You wear many hats, you know, author of already the book and everything else. But with conversation, I always want to take people, before we talk about what you do and where you are now, because people see us now, but they don't know where we come from and the things that we do now based on your purpose.
Yeah.
So share with us, who is Dimpho, the young girl? Utswakai.
Dimpho Mphela. So I am Shabalala by birth, Nongoko by adoption, and Mphela by marriage, right?
Shabalala,
Nongoko, Mphela.
Okay, so 3, almost 4, but anyway.
So, yeah, finally, conversation for another
day. Yeah.
So yes, I was born in Soweto. I grew up in KZN, Newcastle. That's where I did my school, your foundation phase schooling. When I was done with my matric, I came back to Gauteng. But then when I was coming back this time, begunzima. So I lost my mother when I was a teenager. I became a child-headed household. I had siblings. So basically I became a mother at the age of 14, 17.
Sure.
Because when my mom died, I was that age, 14, 17, between 14 and 17.
Firstborn?
So I'm the firstborn.
Okay.
I'm a deputy mom.
Yes.
And the lastborn was about 3 months old. And I had my twin sisters that were 2.5. And they were all on Kimbi. And my brother was 7 years.
Sure.
So I was robbed of my teenage life. I've never enjoyed to be a teenager. I've always been responsible. I've always been a mom. Yes. I've always been looking after Bantu. So it's a painful story, but I thank God that I am healed.
Yes.
I am healing, because healing is a journey.
Yes,
you know.
most definitely.
So when I came back to Joburg, I came back to look for umsebenzi. Then I started working. At 19, I was working and earning R2.50 per hour. So at 19, I was working. Okay. Earning that $2.50 per hour, and I was a domestic worker. Do you want to know what was I doing? I was washing dogs. I was feeding and washing dogs and getting paid for that.
Wow.
Beautiful life problems.
Okay. Now I know why my dogs loved you.
Oh yeah.
Now I know why my dogs were like all over you, nearly making.
She's right.
Now I see.
So I came to Joburg. Then I worked you know, most of when you are working, because I've parented myself, I had no one to tell me don't do 1, 2, and 3.
Yes.
Young I had to teach myself everything, including that you are thinking of. I had to teach myself because I had no. And now the beautiful part of my story is that my mom died because of AIDS and HIV. HIV and AIDS. So I remember during that time where it was the stigma, like what's happening in our country, you know, and the only thing is as we see AIDS in Ngayo, it is because we have multiple partners. So siyazi ukuthi hayi lo kusho ukuthi so ngikhula ngilo trauma le. Those abangibone ngikhula thinking, oh, she's a girl uziphethe kahle. No, trauma number 1 asikafike emalini.
And this is all you know, this is all you hear everywhere you go. Amanese and all that is like, this is because.
Thank you.
Not sure.
Yeah, thank you. Because really we're not taking no. Kanjani, can you hug a person? No, it's there is only one way.
Sure.
So I grew up in Sababafana, bengibabalekela.
Yeah.
Bengibabalekela that even mabe ngiphesuka bengikwada ngizengifuna ukumdumula. While I'm there, listen, here's the story. One time I'm coming back from school. You know Masabafana benzani. Ekhoneni lapha there's a group of boys.
Yes.
And vele ngiyazi ukuthi baloke sengizwile amahemhem ukuthi ozothola lo.
Oh yes, that competition.
You know, apparently I don't know, bazo crown or whatever. I'm thinking, okay, bahleli lapha, and I'm coming back from school. Mangidlula, yo bangisho madoda. The anger in me. Remember, I hate boys. I hate boys. My mom died because of HIV, and
it's because of boys. Yeah,
boys are involved. Bangisho, then I've always been a fighter. I was a good girl, but when it comes to Kushaban Beslisa, I was on black books. The principal was tired of me. It was because of the trauma and the anger, right? So my mom had a gun. I took how old am I? 16 or so, 16 years. I took my mom's gun. I hit the gun. I went to the corner. I'm like, I'm gonna show them.
I'm actually visualizing.
So babonisa lapha bangazi kahle. Mangifika ngiyakuye lo oyinkosi yakhona.
Yeah.
Awuphela ngumhlangano. That meeting was a joke. But then I felt so good.
Power.
You know, I felt so good, like, yeah, I've got my strength, my power back. Yes, right? Wow. Police now were coming. I'm like, what have I done, dear? What have you done? I was grieving. I was hurting.
Wait, did you know how to use the gun?
No. No. But I remember whatever that I did, it did it. Because it was those.
What's coca? What's coca?
Oh, coca ne? What's coca? What is bulal? And they were like, we know we know her to be a church girl, the respecting, and then the guy.
What happened? Kind trauma and anger. Sure. So, you know, that background just gave me a whole lot.
Yeah.
It's different traumas.
Different traumas, yeah.
Then you grew up. And then school?
Then I grew up. Trauma number 2. Maybe trauma number 10. Now I'm in Gauteng. Remember, I don't have parents. Even a kaya, akunamuntu or fundile nongangayida. Kera was and stuff like that.
Yes.
But here's the thing. Where I am coming from, kunale poverty le engizonda ngenhliziyo yami yonke. You know, the poverty engiphuma kuyo. So when my mom passed away, we had to yabona lento ukuthi siphume siyocela impuphu.
Oh yes.
And I will feel the pain, man. I will feel the pain. Yabo makhelwane bethi, don't come closer, put the bucket there, because of his stigma, right? My mom died because of it. Put sizokufakela abantwana labo labantwana abangadlali ngathi my siblings abangadlali nabantwana bethu because bazofakela. So there was that thing. So
and now kumele nicele so that nizokwazi ukuthi nidle just to sustain yourself and family.
You see? Now it's a trauma, now you're rejection.
Yeah.
Trauma, rejection. then ile poverty le engiyona engitraumatizayo. The poverty yasekhaya ilento ecasula ukuthi when you wake up ebusuku to study, you will find a meeting in the table, like the table is black, there's a meeting, amaphela ayakhokhasa. And the smell, that will throw me off. I'm like, oh. Then each time I'll sit out like, Nkulunkulu, when you take me out of this house, I will do better. I will fight this.
Now I know why you buy.
You do?
Now I know why you buy.
You know, when I'm calling myself a poverty eradication activist, I mean it. Because umsebenzi wami lo every day. I hate poverty with all of my heart. So the cockroaches and the makundwane, those two things are associated with poverty. And Shem, this podcast doesn't invite umuntu wrong the podcast.
No, you are the right one for this one.
So when I see Kundwane, when I see Iphela, it's either I don't sleep, it's either ngiyafasta faster because ngilwa ne-spirit manje.
Ukuthi songathi
senesifice poverty sesingenile those two things I hate. So that hating poverty made me to ngathanda imali.
Okay.
Because I think I was right. I knew that to take myself out of poverty and take my family out of these siblings of mine out of poverty, getting imali. Therefore, I need to be a friend with money.
Okay.
Then, being me loving money and being a friend in Omgani, money came.
Okay.
And I made a lot of it.
Okay. How did it start? Oh, from the...
So remember, she was thinking, China.
So finish matric.
I've done your foundation phase. I'm done with my matric.
Okay.
As a result, I applied at UNISA. I remember the way people who came to our school to tell us about UNISA. I applied at UNISA. Mara, for some reason, I only got Girlnexdoorsa maybe a year later. I'm not sure but there's someone in my family who wants irresponsible. Because they are in Thatid. Yes, UNISA are in Thatid.
That's addressed to you, but
the following year, and I'm thinking, yazini. So I came to Joburg even before ngqala. Okay, so when I was doing that, I went for a course.
Oh, okay, just to get you.
So I did the BAA, your paramedic support.
Okay.
The low course. Ngayipasa. Ngaqhubeka ngasebenza. Ngisho manje ngiyayithanda.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Now ekusebenzeni kwami matric yedwa njalo nalo cause I was kwibala office elinye nelinye. Then from there I moved to work with another guys from Nigeria was doing selling cell phones and fixing phones. I worked there as a support. Lapha was earning better because I was earning 250 per week.
Oh. Okay. Get
ngiyakhuphukela manje, so ngiyakulistoli semali. Now nalo 250 imali, but I don't know what to do with it. So because nginabantwana
family,
and again I'm suffering from rejection, thinking people don't love me and I'm not beautiful. Ngithwele yonke le nto kuningi nomama wangishonela limncane enabantu abangithandi, but then for people to love me I need to buy their love.
Okay.
So 250 I need to share it with my siblings, my family. Then I need to share it with people. We need to buy you
ube nabangani man, ube nabangani, ube family, bring it closer.
Because yes,
now you kunobu better nyana. Oh, una something.
And everywhere I went, I had to perform. To gain uthando. I had to perform so that people can love me.
What did you say? You had to perform. Back to that.
So maybe you are right, because honestly I had to even when you give me ukudla I would feel I need to pay back. So I must wash my couch, I must wash my bonda, like I must.
Actress number one.
No man is like you be hating me like, oh sorry, I'm hating you, are the one who's hating me. And that was my life. So that was my life. I find myself saying listed on credit bureau as like as young as I was, 1920.
Yes. So there's no, as you're saying, with a lot of things you had to teach yourself because nobody taught you how to be umama. Hey, bega yenzani. So you did whatever you need to do with the money.
I did whatever. When I see money, I need to buy people. And I like to be with people.
You know, I don't want you to get to this part.
Okay.
I told you guys that on my intro, you know, we are talking about traumas, ne? You can hear where we are going.
Sure.
But coaching.
Sure.
So I want you to, before you get into you authoring a book and you know, coaching people to be better at things, including money, how did you then move from those jobs, getting money, that get you that head start to say, okay, now this is my purpose?
Yeah. So how I discovered my purpose, because of all these traumas that I'm struggling with, honestly, I came to a point where I did not know what to do.
Yeah.
And how I realized this is what God is calling me to. It's when one lady, I was in an organization of women, I don't know if you know it, there's a lady who paid for a session, paid to coach Puseleto, to say whoever that is struggling with grief, they must go sang battalion. I was like, yay, please, you know, it was about 10 years ago, Mama Shonile, but then I was still struggling because young into mangzamu khila ngathi ngimosheka kakhulu because nalabantu engiyosifaka kubo bangilimaza kakhulu, all those things. So when I walked, the first minute I walked to that room, coach, not only a coaching session, my first coaching experience with a life coach, because you know Tina Sibanta Bamnyam.
Yeah.
And we
therapy, for the coaching, I think even now therapy is even better now. But coaching, it's still like a taboo. We use a corporate, you use a leaders and all that. But so like, okay, is it from like a counseling?
Yeah. And I mean, coaches ask, now I'm promoting coaches.
Yeah.
We must encourage people to have coaches. It is not enough to have a therapy. It's not enough to have a psychologist.
A friend. It's not enough to have a friend.
It's not enough to have a friend.
Friends
a shoulder to cry on.
Yeah.
Get a coach.
Yeah.
So because they know what questions, they ask right questions. So they know how to channel whatever a problem or ungabe ubhekene nayo.
Yeah.
So I walked kulela room, in that room, and I said, something said to me, this is what you should be doing.
Oh.
You know, we are busy morning, it's been years. I'll progress, yet you have ideas. Help abanye abantu uNkulunkulu uzokubonelela. And I was like,
oh, like as a form of healing.
Yeah. So that lady opened her mouth. Yeah, she asked right questions, as I'm saying. But when I left that room, my life was transformed.
Empowered.
I said, from that day, I sang yasumi abantu umuntu osukume dustini ukuthi I was like, yes, I need to do something. So that's how my coaching started. So because I did not even know where to go, then I started working healing. I started practicing izinto ngipezona, because even the technique that she used, they really worked on me. So I started practicing. As I was growing, I'm like, okay,
there
this is how it's done.
As well.
There is and I can remember ngikholela sontweni angisho ngibalekile because into engenza ngigcine la kuJesu
khona la wabambelela khona.
It's a glisinanti themba nginalo la. So as a person who's growing in church, there are a lot of responsibilities ozenzayo. From we ushering, you grow, we from eculeni, you share the word, from sharing the word, you counsel people, you become a leader, you are trusted for
connection. With other people,
So I had already started helping people with counseling.
But in ngaleso sikhathi, it's more in a spiritual space.
It was more in a spiritual
space. It's not like monetary and all that. It's a gift.
Exactly. So when coaches tell me that no, isn't ohlupheka kuzo yilazy, I'm like, oh, how come unama? She's even write words for what I'm like, okay, what is this? Okay, it's life coaching. Okay.
Nice.
So then I'm in the space. So as I was growing through healing, then I started to navigate. Okay, I need to study 1, 2, 3. This is the scholar I go. So I even went to University of Pretoria to study trauma counseling.
Oh,
you know.
Yes. Yes,
So-
I know NLP coaches are, oh yes.
Yeah,
yes,
yeah,
yes,
yeah.
yes. So you were like, now
you
you're aligned with your
the,
purpose.
the day I started calling myself a life coach, I'm helping people. That was the day
It opened up.
Also, my healing journey started because as uza you'll be triggering izinto engazi ukuthi I'm suffering from or lokho ezinye sengizikhohliwe. So now I am a better version
Of self.
So I must say coaching really helped me to be the woman
To find
I am.
you.
Yes, it really helped
Not
me
the girl who has lost the mother,
Who has
not
lost
the
the
girl
mother,
who became a mother
shame.
early, not a girl who is, but you find
ongathandwanga owareyishwa
Exactly.
nokureyishwa and all that. So I
All that.
moved. I'm like, okay, girl,
now you find
this is where God wants you to be.
Whew. You know why I love starting with who you are and the stories before we talk about the things that we are like, okay, this is
Okay.
why you are here, because it gives a sense of the girl next doors and boy next doors. We look up to the operas and everybody who we cannot see, touch, and can have a conversation with to say, "Uphume kanjani kule simo?"
Yeah.
And I love that when people know, okay, now I can go to Mpopi course. Dimpho, you know, uphume Soweto, uphuma la ngiphuma khona, une trauma so has gone through, they can see, they can touch you, and actually you are reachable. Because there's so much essence. I always like to use example yema society. Nabo mama, good man hleli lapha niziphuma lezo itori. Bra, the wisdom that comes out of girls having tea or talking, nixoxa, but mawuhamendlini uyakusoyayipractice. But that's why when I started, it's like I just want real people with real stories who are making such a difference in other people's lives. So that's why I start with that intro. That's why I don't like it bio, because bio, I would not do that. Your bio would not do
I love
this.
it. True,
so
true.
thank you so much also for opening up with other, like the emotional issues, like with mom, you know, and the rape. So that's why I sometimes feel like this is like me having my sessions and my coach sessions with my guests. So I'm still in the journey and healing and going through the same mother issues, you know, and also rape, and just finding who you are. So I'm glad we're in the same space. So we're talking about a different trauma today.
What trauma is it?
So we're talking about, you know, that I've never had a conversation with anybody about money trauma, even as a word or as a thing. I know I had money issues. Not trauma. Definitely not trauma. But I know, like, an emotional, you know, emotions, money and emotions. So that I knew, but not money trauma. So maybe, guys, I did say on my intro, like, money trauma, guys, it's real. When it's written, you must know it's real. And what I love about such books, you don't just write about the story, fiction, and all that is. It has tips. It opens up what you need to know to deal with, so that it opens up. So, what is what is money trauma? Because maybe masindlala with that, it will be easy.
It's about easy. So if I like we've been talking, when we were doing the introduction, there are a lot of traumas as the struggle goes. And what I've learned is that childhood trauma, whether they include imali, rejection, and all that we have mentioned, they shape how we do things in our adulthood. They shape how we are, how we live, because yonke lento ebenza ukusakhula ikutshela ukuthi this is impilo, and you need to work hard uku-erase wonke lawo manga that the system ewafake ekhanda lakho, that trauma. So money trauma, what is it?
I love the smile.
Money trauma is when you are not free, or you are not happy, you are not satisfied. Yes, unimali. Money trauma is when you are not able to live with what you have. You know, money trauma is when you're struggling to make ends meet. Money trauma is when you cannot talk openly about money. It's when you don't even want the people that you are staying with, your husband or your family, to know how much you are earning. Money trauma, it's that thing of hiding money. You know, so imali iyahidwa la ekhaya iyafika, no one must know about money trauma. It's even when like makuthiwa families, when we discuss into that has to do with imali, ama voice abale phezulu.
Yep.
Like I know that when I was growing up, the only time I'll hear my family talk about money, hey, it's when there's a fight.
Ooh.
But you will never come and find your auntie and my mom or uncles talking calmly or kancane bekhulumela phansi ngemali. Each time money is mentioned, hey, I'm thinking that is trauma. As a result, you will know you uzongifakazela on this one. You know, when kids are coming eskoleni, maybe especially on Thursday, coming to tell us parents, Mommy, they said tomorrow we're wearing service.
Friday.
We must bring 10 rands. They are fundraising to what? Mewa thing. They would shout at the end of shame, this child is innocent. Like, I'm innocent. I'm just coming to tell you what my teacher told me. Teacher said we must tell you that you're wearing service, then we need money because we are fundraising. Mama will shout, hey, teacher wako, who this? Iskolo sako.
You hospital uniform for zona.
The mother will even curse the day where that which you're supposed to be wearing casual. If Friday, if I find that now, you know why? That is trauma, because it is coming from the place of lack. But if there was a preparation,
it's coming from a place of lack.
Yeah.
The shouting.
Yeah. So so if there was a preparation to say, on this day we're getting a communication from school, I know that when I get paid, I'm putting that in my budget. But because I don't even have a skill of budgeting, sometimes no miskola sikchelile, you just go. No.
Sure.
So that is trauma. That is trauma. So the kids are growing, but then they are scared of asking you money because they know of your attitude. You know?
Yeah.
They go a mall. Look what is happening in my malls when kids zikhala zidrama tantrums funa masweet. Mama is traumatized, even the kids are traumatized because they know mama is not going to buy me ice cream.
And
Mom is not going to get me that toy. But when we start the chain of healing from money trauma, the conversation flows. Yeah. We tell your toddler, listen, Nana, we're going to the mall.
So
two things you need to choose. It's either I'm buying you Zimba or I'm buying you a toy.
Okay.
No ice cream, no candies. And when you go to the mall, obviously siphume mall singadlanga.
Yes. Yeah.
Siphuma la endlini sisuthi, the juices uphuzile. So
kukhona ukudla ekhaya.
Thank you.
So ungathi mawubona into, do you want it? Because you know you touched before, don't lose your train of thought.
Sure.
With my daughter, my younger one, I had to learn to always say before spumendlin because of my own traumas, money traumas. That's why I had to place of leg.
Yeah.
And I was even telling Habi that I don't know, because I've never lagged, but the way I respond to money and things sounds and feels like it comes from the way I don't want not to have. So mawuzongifuna imali or maspuma, then you start pointing other things esingazelanga. My first zelanga leyo. But I had to learn to help my daughter before we even get there, to say we're going to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah.
Should you need anything, you must know why we went there.
Yeah.
But not they will show you choose between this and this.
Yeah.
But for me, so that
which is good communication.
Yeah.
Because that means you understand. Now we understand money. There's nothing to be angry about. Kids are kids. We must allow them to be right. But you just need to have a way of teaching them.
Yeah.
If you don't have money at all, don't even promise candy or sweet. Nana, we're going there, we're gonna play, and we're coming back. If you want candy, it's in your bag. If you want juice, it's in your bag. You are communicating, and
so that there's no need to then buy.
Exactly.
So that must figure out you are still set and enjoy what. Sure.
So now because when you sorry to but when you look at these other cultures, esinas, do you think kukhona lokulwa thina esinakho with our kids?
Yeah.
Akukho, because they have.
Yes.
Because they have. Noma umntwana uyazi uthi no, I have my savings. I will use, yes, I'm coming with money to the mall, I will use whatever from my savings. But thina sinayo, because we don't even want to talk about it. So I had to sit down and say, no, man, there is nothing wrong with me. As much as I am blacklisted, I'm a teenager who is on credit bureau already. I've got credit card. Are we there already? I have credit cards, clothing accounts, cell phone contracts. My contracts. I'm buying your love.
Yes.
Pumzile, you must love me as long as you are here.
Making all the wrong money decisions.
I did not get to Thando from mom because Ushona Vele, this woman never loved me.
Yeah.
She never, she loved me, but we were not staying together.
Okay.
Because
trauma.
I had to work kuleo trauma. She was 14 years when she had me.
Yeah.
No, the poor child is overwhelmed.
Please hold it right there. Hold it right there. Conversations with Mphela, the girl next door. We will be right back. Sure. Welcome back. You know, we had another deep conversation about one question that popped. You know, we always have guests in this podcast where the big question came about credit bureau because we were talking about the accounts. We were talking about, when you start getting all those accounts and you don't even know what happens after when you are older. Dimpho, you were talking about, when you were buying love, you started opening accounts amaningi, and you were like just referring what you were then listed to credit bureau. And we had I want you to bring it, but later on.
Okay.
What is that? Because I think when my daughter, production manager on the other side, asked the question, what is credit bureau? The penny dropped, and thank you for answering fully with her. But my penny dropped is, these are the conversations that us, as I'm gonna just call it as it is, as black parents, as black culture, and people who don't really want to deal with money issues, money trauma, or deal with money the way we suppose. We need to learn. We need to be open to say, this is a subject efana nesikolo.
Yep.
Mele sifunde kunezinto ezi we need to learn nokuthi what does this term mean and what does it do.
Yeah.
Now I didn't even know it is not called blacklisted anymore. You are negatively listed. But before, I think it's at the end, I would really like you to just give a few snippets to say kakhulu fotina, whether ufundile or awufundanga. Few things that you need to learn. So let's go back to your story. Wasuqeda imali yakho uthenga ama-account uzuzu uyolista usuthola umsebenzi omusha so uhola wena you are Miss Money Bags.
Yep. So ngathola umsebenzi, I was moving because girl was ambitious. I've always been ambitious. Girl was moving. Ngasuka la ngisebenza khona ngikhanda ama cell phone, I got umsebenzi at the call center. I was doing well. I mean, during those years I was earning 4.8, it was a lot of money. Yeah. 4.8 could get you a bond, man. It was a lot of money. Yeah. So without revealing an but yeah. So being excited that I have money, but Kemanja, how do I use this money? Yeah. So when the first trauma, mangholile, I can't sleep. Because I have money. I am asking myself, kusanini, because this money need to be spent. Angazi ukuthi budget ayini. As a result, before ngicabanga the landlord engihlala kuye, ngimcabanga ekugcineni yena futhi mhlawumbe ngizombhadala ngemali ebolekiwe. I'm going to spend my money. I've worked hard for this money. Sure. So obvious, I had contracts, like I've said.
Mawuthi, it's a trauma na imali yangena unemali, it's anxiety, it's excitement and all that.
Yeah, anxiety uthi nginemali.
So people must know ukuthi that is a trauma.
Melipele. Yes, that is trauma. Because why would you want to ipele? Because my peli is when you right. Mara manginemali angikwazi ukulala. You know my
song ne?
What is it?
There's a song.
What is the song? Aglaleg magnemali. Yes. Melipele, but for what? I don't know. I mean, at the same time, so it's two ways. Because I've been to all the stages. Sometimes I will have money and I wouldn't want to use it.
Okay.
That is a trauma. Because ngikhulengileka mangisebenzisa izophela. Then I had that stage where mangeni hayi
melihlale khona engapha
meliphele, so two ways. So those are the stages. Both this tshela ukuthi kune trauma that you need to heal from.
Sure.
So I was saying to you, now that I have a payslip, my numbers, all right, I will go on my shop. You remember most of the, let me just, later. Edgar's, your Jet, your Jetmat, they were all under Edcon.
Oh, under Edcon, yes.
And I had an account with Edgar's and an account with Jet. I don't know how did they do it.
Oh.
And this is the same company. I had account with Foshin, I had account with Truets, I had a credit card. Yes, at 20 I had a credit card. I mean, for a black person, it's an achievement. Trauma number 3. I had a credit card at 20.
Sure.
I had cell phone contracts too. I would take cell phone contracts for a month. See?
Sure.
Performing, buying love. I had account with furniture shop. I took furniture for my family. I think it was a machine and what. Hey, now when month end came, hey. Yeah, because I gave them my account. And now they started debiting their monies. Creditors started coming. And I'm left with nothing. I'm on minus. I was like, I will show them. They don't know who am I changed the account. I went to HR, I gave them the new account, my salary will come here. Now, when these creditors were not getting their money
from this side,
yeah, so when account next month.
Okay.
When the creditors were not getting their money, they started calling me. It was really overwhelming. Your private number, it was private number by then. They're using private numbers, not the 087 number that they're using now.
Yeah.
Private numbers, I will avoid these calls. I'm like, okay, this is what they're doing. I'm changing my contact. So I changed my number. I use a new number so that they don't get hold of me.
Yes.
But for my email, I would not respond. I would not even bother them. Like, as long as I'm in a mali.
After they're busy listing you.
Yes. So time passed. Then I was listed. I was not even aware. I did not even know
because,
when you don't pay them. That's why I kept saying, I can hide it easily. So I remember now when saying I pay slip. I think I went to a bank to ask for a loan. They said no, loan was declined. I was like, why am I declined? They said you are on credit bureau, listed on credit bureau as a bad payer. They said, what is credit bureau? I'm like,
and that question at that time,
yeah. I'm like, I ignored. I'm like, from Dlamini. So I mangyagla bank now, mangyagla. Then I would go to Mashonisa. Mashonisa got loop. Mashonisa only 2,000 lap. Mashonisa only na stress. I do my things. It's not like I don't know what was I doing with money. So that trauma of having and not having it really
it's a big
sucks.
one. So I'm glad that, because that was my question, but what is money trauma and all that? You even gave nice examples, because sometimes you'll say something but aguna example.
Sure.
And when you're talking about Mina, my trauma, I think I was saying when I was talking to him, like, I'm trying to figure out me, when I bring guests, I've also figured, because with me, the biggest trauma I have, I've never let, to be honest, because mom was always okay, by the way. Oh, mashonisa umama.
Sinners, launcher.
But sikhuliswe umama bekanemali, but everything that she would say, uthando or ukuthi sidlale sibe ne friendship, sibe nothando and do things. My mom never want to, even now. Using money is like uyamosha.
Okay.
So bengazi ukuthi possibly that was a trauma, because angaze ngaleka. And then when it comes to me, yes, mbuya nam lapho where I don't want to talk about money. You don't have to know how much I earn, but I wanted to know what other people are earning. But I'm such a planner. Now I'm at a point whereby I understand how money is. Bengakwazi ukubiza kwa imali yabo mawudlula ku 100,000. Okay, I think
can you write it?
I think the biggest trauma that I have is allowing myself to be okay to want money, to have money, and invoice imali mina ngizo-invoice nge-relationship, not because so I don't have to invoice. So there's still that trauma where I don't know. know how to open myself up for. Maybe there's other people who don't open themselves up for to open ukuthi mawufuna imali back to iBhayibheli ukuthi impande yesono. Is that a trauma as well ukuthi ufile ngathi imali impande yesono, and that's why you then just now bangenzela ipassword la endlini to help me with my trauma. My phone and Wi-Fi.
Yes.
Money loves me.
Okay. Lovely.
It was hard, but my daughter was like, no, say change a little girl next door, man. You
money loves me.
Money loves, so that I can. So is ukusaba imali a trauma?
It is definitely. It is ukusaba imali a trauma, because why would you be scared of invoicing people? Money must come to you. I like that affirmation, Kanye, by the way. Kanye Bao affirms, money loves me. Money feels comfortable around me.
Even with the dogs.
Right, money, money comes to me easily and effortlessly. I have a good relationship with money. And when money comes, it doesn't matter whether it comes easy, gomuntu wase, Pasco Mhlaba, Africa. He did not call umuntu otheni akabizani boyfriend. She called money, and money came to him. Money located her, right? Money came to her and it located her. So coming to your question, it is, the Bible says the love of money is trauma. Now you are reminding me, because I've started a campaign of visiting churches where I speak about money healing, where I help, because it does not make sense us having God, praying, believing in this God, saying we have this Jesus. This Jesus is so big. And this Jesus says, I own silver and gold, yet we lack. When we are born, check folks, the Christian, why is that? Like, okay, it's a sermon for another day. So
yes,
the Bible says, so the Bible says the love of money is the root of all evil.
Okay.
So it is the love of money. Now we need to define ukuyithanda, because now once you start envying, ukuthi omunye umuntu akasafari or akube khona ubusathana obenzakalayo in order for you to have.
Okay.
That's what the Bible is addressing. But I need to tell you, there is nothing wrong with loving money. Siyakholwa. So why would you do evil? Why would you kill somebody so that you be nemali? That's where see
that's
Moshe called. So that's what it's addressing. So when God says the love of money is the Tina says bambela bosesity. As a result, a friend of mine who is a coach was telling me about their coachee that she is doing well in business. Money has started to come and go account. Then she's seeing figures changing the man, but she's like, I'm scared. I don't know what to do, because I know people about money. I know there's people who are arrogant.
Yeah, you change. Money changes you.
Yes, people about ngathanda pride, which is not true. Ubone mina ngine mali, then you assume ukuthi akusondeleki. Come closer and get to know how am I making this money. You know, even if bebe khona banjalo, because I'm not disputing that bakhona abantu abanjalo, but don't look at it ngamehlo ukuthi izongishintsha ngibe arrogant. I mean, money is there. I mean, if we Christian, money is there to help us to advance the kingdom.
Yeah.
So we need money in order for us to be here. We need money. All this thing, man. How are we going to send this message to the world?
Yes,
if we do not have money to do this podcast.
By the way, Conversations with the Phumzile. Now you know what you need to do. Now you can buy space and advertise. Bring that money here. You can hire out studio. That's a lot. So I've been ready to say that.
I'm happy. So we need this. In order, now if I want to bring a conversation, I need to hire a studio. I need money because I feel that I have this message that needs to go up hand. How am I gonna do that to my lingeko?
Yeah.
So you've got to love money, and when you do that, it will love you back. By the way, money loves all of us.
It does.
But we are chasing it like I don't want to. Want to. It is because of the traumas that you've experienced when you were growing.
Sure.
So we're saying. I'm talking about the credit, finding myself in listed on credit bureau. So because I have all these accounts now, I've changed my number. Remember, I've changed my bank account. But this other month I worked so well. So my basic salary was 4.5, and there was a commission. So I'm expecting a lot of money. So the pay slip will come the day prior the payday. So pay slip yafika, my figure it about 20 something rand. Ngithi no man, something is not right. This is me getting hot. I want to confront the HR. What is happening? Then I went to HR. They said, ma'am, you have been garnished. I like garnished.
That's another term.
Garnished. You know, mostly when you order a cocktail at a restaurant or when the food is being, I'm like garnished, like promotion. What are they saying? I had to go and learn the term garnished. What is it being garnished? So they're simply saying they have received a court order to take my money from my employer, not from me. They have a right to take my money from their employer. Because when my creditors ngiyababalekela ngifuna ukubabhadala. So ngababuza ukuthi no ngicela reverse bathi when the court order has been served, there's nothing we can do. We need to obey. You are not paying your debt, then and Lana, I think I was not garnished by one creditors. I think there were about 3. So bonke bathatha their portion yemali yabo. I'm left with nothing. So 0.29. I've worked so hard for the whole month. And you know what I did? I resigned. Like no. Wow. And being that girl, knowing I'm
you know what I love about your story, and I know we're gonna, guys, the book is there, it's ready.
Yes, the book is there, Healing Money Trauma.
Yes,
my story is here, more
of the story
of what I went through.
I'm happy that we not talking about what's here. You are already talking about it, because there's so many people who do those things unaware. How would it then affect others and themselves first? So sure, I didn't expect. That's why I don't like preparing. Because when you prepare, you have these questions set and ngati ufuna certain answers. But you are talking about things I think somebody out there might be still doing what you were doing then now. Where there's an issue, I run away. Change account. There's an issue, I run away. There's an issue, and you thinking it will never catch up with you. And sometimes, let me be honest, I shared a little bit about my dad. I just had a situation with my mom when somebody passes on, we forget that you can run. And the trauma is not only based on your trauma. You're also living a generational trauma, because you can run and run and run and get away with it through death. But those things, they still come and follow. Please bring us back to what then happened to you. You resigned.
Yes.
I'm
angry. Like they don't know this girl. I'm gonna show them who I am. So I resigned and I stayed at home. I was applying. I know I'm good, man. And I was being called for interviews, and I know that I will impress the interviewers. I'm like, this job is mine. I have prayed, I have fasted for this job. People are not calling me. I stayed at home for about 3 years. Remember, I have a responsibility of abantwana that I left with my auntie in the KZN. They need to be supported. And here I am stuck. I don't even have a place to stay anymore. I need to go back home. So it's a kaya, lama kaya makulu. You know, so I'm not fitting anywhere, because I'm an adult who's not working. And
who had a lifestyle change.
Yeah,
so right. Now you are back to,
you know, this lifestyle that I've introduced myself to. And now I'm no longer a child to say, I'm an orphan. I'm yes, I'm here got 22. So
I can't use that card anymore.
It's not working. I sang 7 to throw it away. So I had this luckily God being gracious, yes. So ngathola umama was adopted me and my siblings. That is another story. It deserves its own. So when I was with her, then ngibizwa kwenye company, ngiyabhizi ngiapply. Ngibizwa kwenye company, this stage company. I went for an interview. Those people were impressed. HR was impressed. All the panel, but they are not calling me. So luckily I know other people that were being interviewed with me at the same time with me. I asked them, guys, were you called? But we even wrote a test. We studied. I'm like, then what about me? went to that company. I was like, ma'am, by the way, that lady that I confronted is my mentor today.
Oh wow!
I was like, ma'am, I know for sure that you were impressed by my interview, but I was never called yet. The people that I came with were called. What is happening? Then she said, wait, I'm coming. Then she came with a list, I think, yes, the A4 list of creditors that I owed. And she said, because of this, you were not hired. We don't hire people who are blacklisted. She's like, then she took me down and explained that in South Africa, we do not hire people who are blacklisted. Then I was asking questions, why? How am I black? Why? Then she took me through the whole process. This is how it started, and I kept saying, yes, I confirm. Yes, I have an account, but nobody told me that I'll end up on credit bureau. Yes, Bengas, and all that. Then she said, okay, go back to your creditors and make arrangements. How are you going to pay the money and bring us those letters? You must have at least a proof that you've been
spoken to them.
Yeah. So
before you move, I think, is that the other thing that Tinabantu Esingayenzi, where you confront that particular thing that is affecting you, because no basaba labantu bakolodayo with no alcohol my bank
trauma and the lack of knowledge says these are superior than you.
Okay.
Sorry Thando. The lady went trauma is involved, because why would you be scared of equal? I mean, are you really scared of Woolworths? Do you know who? Can you put a face
behind?
Yes, can you put a face Google words, because so I know that most of the time when we receive calls from creditors, we panic. It's either we block, we don't answer, or sikamba manga, and again that
and become aggressive.
What we do, lento ukuthi usabuphendula ama creditors wakho mawunabantu nayibonisa ukuthi trauma, because why would you be scared of answer? Just answer the phone, say hi. Ukuthi ngikoleta malini? No, sorry, I do not have 100 rands, but I can afford to pay you 200 rand. I have a right. Remember, as consumers we have rights.
Oh yes.
You have a right to speak to them. You have a right to tell them ngicela ni freeze ngingabhadali for the next coming. That is but for the next coming 3 months, or I'm no longer going to afford to pay this amount that we have agreed upon. That is a favorable contract, but I can afford to pay 20 rands per month. You have a right. I think that's
the thing that we don't know, which you have a right and a power to say so.
Yeah. So you can even just go and check the consumer right. Go read all the consumer read about, so that you know that you have a right.
I'm not to link it to this bio.
Not to be not to be scared of your creditors. You don't have to. I mean, face them. It's your scholar after all.
Yeah.
But bangakhuluma mhlambe the call center
because they also can be so aggressive sometimes, to a point where I've had a few where you feel like you're not even hearing me.
Yes.
You don't. But I think it means I need to be educated on a certain empowered to say I can still negotiate and say take it or leave it.
Exactly. And Pumzile, the depression that they cause us because it feels so much like umuntu okhuluma naye umuntu omkolota istoro kobolwakhe, and umuntu who is
getting paid for it.
So you just need to be calm, like, listen lady, calm down. It's me.
Okay.
And at the end of the day, it's on my ID.
So I hear you.
Please listen to me. I do not have 500 rands. I can afford to pay this much,
and that's it.
Or sometimes you can even write them. I did not put it on my book, but it's there on our website. If you can follow us or check our website, you'll see which you can even have. We have attached the templates and all the forms.
Nice.
The budget sheets.
Okay.
If you need to know the score, the budget sheet, and how you go about credit bureau checking the good and the bad debts, it's there on our website as well.
Nice.
So where you write them, there's a template where you can write, tell your creditors ukuthi so uphelele umsebenzi, or ucela ukuthi bakunikeze isibreather uphefumule for a certain
particular
period.
time.
But before you do that, you need again to be familiarize yourself with the contract. What is it that is on your contract?
Okay.
Because another thing is that we don't know. We do not read the contract. I understand.
No, we don't know. We don't read. Yeah.
It's fine print, but you need to understand what is happening.
Yeah.
And again, before, okay, no. So this is now a financial
technical.
I feel like the financial literacy, but it's all there in my book.
Yes.
If you get the copy for yourself, you'll understand what I'm talking about.
Sure. I think because that's why I was like, you know, we are definitely having you back so that we can go to the nitty-gritties. Manje, it's all these highlights where is the emotional, is the mental that we don't see. Because I think we talk about the financial literacy and all that, people then they ignore. But when you talk about your reality as a person, I think your story, you were still linking. For me, I want you to go back to, not even back, but you then went to that lady who helped you to show, this is why you were not selected for this position because of that.
Yes.
And she helped you.
Yeah.
So some people, you were able to get away with it a bit and moved on. Right. What are other things that people, if you run and do these things, and what do they do to outside of yourself? What would it, what
it affects big time. Like I've said, you won't be able to be, you are not employable.
Yeah.
You know, you can have all the skill and the qualification, but then you're not going to be employed.
And to find out.
The funny part is that what happened to me, it might not happen to you. The funny part is that when they select the shortlister, they don't come back and say the reason we did not call you because you are on credit bureau. But if they were doing that, at least
everybody would know. Yeah.
And we know
it
that.
Took you to get up to go find out.
I was really brave. I was really brave to go and confront EHR of this big institution. So luckily, I got I was absorbed in, but I had to call all my creditors and make an arrangement, and they must give me the proof. Okay, school meeting now we have agreed to pay this much. Obviously, of course, I could not afford to pay them the agreed installment as a contract. But negotiating, and by that time, Bengas the man noting the right, I could negotiate even further. That I can afford to pay to say it's your right. It's what you can afford to pay. When you do that, it also gets listed again. You see, yes, you are listed as a slow payer, but there is a responsibility. So, other than you being negative listed at all, you know. So it's very important for us to speak and talk to our creditors
and not be afraid. So I think what I'm getting from this, we must not be scared. If you've already made those financial bad decisions and mistakes that you have done, don't be scared to start afresh and just look in, like face your finances and do something about it. Sure, money traumas, because we are tackling all the traumas. Debt and shame.
That's another thing. I'm not sure who told us that we cannot tell people that we are in debt. You know, we suffer depression in silence, and the roots, it has to do with iman, it has to do with debt, and we think, no, it's a shame. Yeah, well, it is happening like that. We are being judged, but you need to be free. You need to heal from a trauma so that even when you feel like people are judging you, instead of you taking it negatively, just educate them. It's your chance, the platform to educate people to know it happened to the best of us. And in order for me to be free from lenteng bophile imali ekolota ukuthi ngikhulume ngayo, as a result we'll be I mean sihlala in Rofe 1, but you don't know what are my struggles zemali kodwa sihlala sonke like high.
And it starts there, because how would you tell your friends and your, let's say, society gupi when you can't even speak to your immediate family where you're supposed to be? This is where you are free. This is where you can get possible support. But
because even if it's a bad habit, you're not going to overcome. How are you going to overcome it if accountability partners? Because these people that you share your struggles with, they become your accountability partners. Because I'll keep on asking, are you done paying that credit card? Have you paid this? You know. So at least if you know keep her accountable. So we are was to uzbadal isikoloto usiqede and not go over senior.
I think I love the platform that I'm very grateful for the Puseletos mine retirement transfer, because I wouldn't be where I am now if I didn't join a community of people who are able to talk about things openly and have. You are so right when you say accountability partners, because it's a good idea to have an accountability partner with your partner at home or with your family at home, your mom, in a family.
It's start in a small start here.
Because you find that you want to talk about things, but anibonisani kahle. This brings me to a point of how do we then heal? Because there's this shame, there's this trauma history where this is what has happened to you and you've carried a long time. We are open, maybe you've noticed in this family. In this don't go to coaching, but in my space, we do have with my partner, like issue, we different when it comes to finances. I'm the one who I don't want to lack, and I don't want tomorrow that traumatizes me. Or aguna a toothpaste, those small things where then you would cry because
I'll try not to coach.
Yes. Then there's that this is me. Though I'm comfortable, have you on the other side
it's opposite.
It's like you know what, this is where you are, deal with where you are. If you don't have it at that time, and it's okay, let it not be an emotional thing, and all that. And I am always on that bese ngiba defensive, or I go to my trauma with the recent thing with my mom, whereby do you ne?
Do me.
Now we are partnering so that I don't want to change.
Get you.
But in the do you, when I go, when I leave this earth, next, I'll leave you clean. When you go, you must make sure, because I'm gonna go to as long as you do you, but as long as don't leave me with anything that will affect me. I say it just recently, but I said it jokingly, but I actually meant
You're sending the message.
I really meant it, but I would like to be more like a joke, because sometimes it's easier to get your message. But my fear, I think I need healing, or my fear is I wouldn't want to, if I go and then my family is affected by my decisions, my bad financial decisions, whether I didn't do anything about them and all that, so that I'm conscious on every day to say when I'm sorting me and making sure that I am comfortable
and everybody around,
but even it's not only me, everybody else. So how do we heal?
Profound. That is really profound. Before I get to the how part, as I was growing up, so my mom was grazed. She was in property and she was owning one of the biggest buildings in Hebrew, and she was making good money. I remember getting a statement that has 800,000+, and it was in the middle of the month, and I thought, okay, all these people that are paying rent, they are paying to this account, so this woman is moneyed. But then in her having money and how she grew up and how we also exposed with poverty, I am thinking because of the trauma that was not healed, she had bodyguards. She wasn't a politician, she wasn't a prominent person, she was like an ordinary mama Dimpho. But she had bodyguards, she had cars, she did not have a license, she had cars,
she was.
Your meter taxis, but they were all not on her name. She had cows somewhere Gomahayen, but all those cows, for your livestock was not on her name.
Sure.
What do you call that? Then she was renting a flat, expensive apartment. She did not have a house. What do you call that? So now her decision, and all that glamorous, obvious, when she passed on, people expected us to be okay, but there was nothing. I went and claimed my AIFA, and they only paid 42 rands. They only paid 42 rands. And
I 42,000.
No, honey, 42. And I was like, okay, so what do we do? Who else did she invest with? Like, there was nothing. There was nothing, and she died. They evicted her flat. There were a lot of disputes and media. It was a lot. I even lost interest of following the story. Even to ask here in Yobuzo, but that's my mom's building. Like, the way I was so angry, I just let it be. I had that, the municipality has taken back the property. He's the one who's managing the property. I was like, I let it be because I am angry.
Sure.
So now the decisions that we are taking in Mali, they affect the generation
that comes after us.
You know, so I'm growing up, I'm angry, hating life together with my siblings, which even today they're still asking, but then girl, did she really, you know? So we that element of anger.
So sorry. Tissue.
Can I have a tissue, please? I'm sorry.
Catches you, ne?
I'm sorry.
My mom said something so sad the other day. My brother wants to open a business, and in her anger, I realized for the first time that her trauma of my mom is almost a millionaire, or if not more than that. My brother, Makavuli business. When my mom said, I don't want you to open a business, and if it was a fully business, you must not live with me here because my father died as a pauper and your father died as a pauper because of my businesses.
Sure.
I didn't realize how painful, now as you're talking with how painful it is for my mom. And now it's a trauma that, for my brother, because my brother is in a situation whereby he's the one who's living with my mom.
Yeah.
He has ambitions and all that. But if your mother's trauma is affecting, maybe he might not be go all out and say it will still stay with him with the fear.
Where does it come from?
Because now it's
intergenerational.
Then it's him, and then my brother has boys.
Oopsie.
So sorry. But this is so real, and having you here, I think it's just one of those things that I wish the takeaway for people listening to these conversations, that we are real people and go through real stuff, but there's always a way out.
There's always a way out.
Back to you healing, and
we need to recognize and talk about it because it's really sad. So I'm saying, you know, she's late. We are here. Sisapila, so 5 is Sisapila. But look at the trauma Sisalwa and I, how many years ago? You know, so my twin sisters are doing their last year at the university, but they are still angry. But why? Because if she was alive, things would have been different. Or if it was Shiela, you know, Maggie holding Yana, basis of Kubega Guyo. Yes, we see Yazama, you are doing well, and Yazama just be comfortable. But if she at least the pace, it would have been better, you know. So it's really sad. So my advice is that as much as we are reading these books about money, let us
but as much as we're reading books about money, guys, so much books
here. See, for your little one, like I've seen her excuse, you can't say no abantwana bancane, they can't read. Look, it's so easy. This one is by Nicholas Machine, the Coco, the money bunny for your toddlers.
So this is me with traumas. I buy books and make sure if I can't teach them, they must find
which is information. Which is a good thing because this is, you are building a legacy. You know. Information. So back to your question, the how part. Let's attend. Let's learn about financial literacy. Let's assist sharing information about financial literacy. That is the first thing, because how are you going to know you need to budget and how to budget if you don't have knowledge? So let's have knowledge. Again, do visit.
And those are some of the things you offer.
Those are the things that we do as a financial wellness coach. Those are the services that we offer. attend ama coaching, get the financial wellness coach, get the financial advisor. Even before ucabanga yakuma debt review, yes, it's so easy ukubhadala izikoloto zakho without involving the third party.
Yeah, because they take money as
you
well.
know. So I mean, with financial advisors it's different, but then with coaches, financial wellness coaches, it's even better, because we help you to do it yourself, DIY, structure your own debts, pay them off. I have a client whom I was giving a testimony on our book launch, who you saw
girl in the green,
right?
And I'm like, she purposefully wore green,
right? money. So we started seeing her like 6 months ago, and she had just lost Dlamini, and she was in debt, really bad, over indebted, yet she's doing very well. So when she wrote to us a week prior to the launch, she was telling us that, look, I am debt free.
Wow.
I am so excited, and I am taking myself out for a vacation alone just to celebrate a milestone. I never thought it's possible. Thank you. So you see, when you do it yourself, it's easy, but when you involve the third part, of which we do advise, if you feel like you are drowning, over indebted, get the third part, but then there's a catch. I do not want to lie. That is the system. It's a podcast for another day.
For another day.
Yes,
I think so. The next one, we're gonna do the myths. Facts and myths.
Facts and I love that.
So that at least people they can understand. With the guys, that this is the fact.
The fact, yes.
The myth is somebody come, you're gonna solve all your problems. There is something
behind. Here's the famous one. After 5 years, ungabhadali isikoloto za igama lakho bayalisula kwa credit bureau, then isikoloto sakho usithwala uzoyoshona. Nothing get removed on credit bureau. Nothing about you will remain there, listed negatively as umuntu ongabhadali kahle. The only thing that get removed after 5 years is the judgment on your name. But it's called that. So myth and fact, I'm looking forward to it.
Yes. That's another one that you're gonna be listening to. So please remember to subscribe, like, and hit that notification button so that when we drop a new video, you are the first one to get it. So Dimpho, in closing, you spoke about a lot of things. Key takeaways. What would you like our listeners, our viewers out there to take in everything that we've said today, to take out of this conversation? One. And then two, give us a nugget on what is wealth, because sometimes we think wealth is just money, so that people can go dig deep in their spaces and understand wealth in simpler terms.
I love that. So what you can take home, let me start with the last one. Wealth is your contentment. When you are content, also naimali uyitholile, no matter incane kanjani, when you are content and you are in control of your money, that's what I called wealth. That is wealth. Then what you can take home is, you need to know that money is not numbers, money is not English being eloquent, money is understanding, and money is discipline. Thank you.
Sure, I need you to repeat that. For the first time hearing, money is not numbers.
Money is not numbers. Money is not English being eloquent. Money is understanding.
And discipline. Sure. Conversations with the girl next door. I kept Dimpho here for so long with all other engagements. I am sorry to the world, so that she can refer to this video. This is why I was late, because she was here for us and giving us so much more than I expected here. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. I had a great time.
No, thank you. Thank you.